Hello there, YouTubers. This is Adam. Warriors for Christ. Just to get started, where we left off with the riser, I got the arrow rest cut out. Got the riser sanded down to from 50 grit to 220. I'll explain the holes here in a minute. But basically, that's what you're going to end up being. This is ready for a finish. If you want to stain it or put some clear over it, I'm going to put some water locks on it, which is a tung oil. I'm going to put 2 or 3 coats over it. This is a limb that we're going to be doing. I'm going to tell you how to measure it out. This is a 2-inch stick. Okay, you're going to rip a board down, 2 of them, 2 inches thick. All right, or 2 inches wide, 3/4 inches thick, and you're going to end up measuring out center and measuring 1.5 inches here, and then from this point to here 2.5 inches, and then from here to here 2 inches. Okay, what you're going to have is from this point here to this point here is 14 inches. 2-inch fade again to a static limb. Here's a side shot. 2-inch fade down to 3/4 over 2 inches, down to a 1/2 inch over 8.5 inches to this point. So from here to here is 8.5, 1.5 to 3/4, 2 inches, 14-inch working limb, 2 inches, 1.5 inches. Now this fade that goes from 1.5 inches to 2 inches is not a major fade. It only goes from 1.5 inches to 2 inches over like 1 inch, and that's just to bring it down into your riser, is all that's for. Because if you don't, your limb's going to be wider than your riser and it'll look kind of goofy. But here's a side shot view. This limb here is a little bit of reflex in it. You can do that if you want. You can heat this up right in here with some steam. I prefer steam because it tends to bend a little easier. But if you steam, you gotta let it dry out for a while before you can use the bow. But I'll heat it up in a pot of water boiling and put aluminum foil over top of it and let it steam up and get hot to where you can't touch it. And basically put it in a thing I have made that's got a curl to it, and I can bring it up as much as I want. Not too much to where you break the limb though. You want to just give it to what it'll do on one limb. Normally the other limb will equal to that. You don't want to overstretch it though. But if you notice also, I got the rawhide here. I'll show you how to do it on my next video. It will be a few days probably before I get rawhide to do so. But the sides, I normally like to round them over to let the rawhide go down over the side. That locks down that grain on the sides, keeps a splinter if you don't have a perfect grain. That's the thing about rawhide. You can get away with 1 or 2 runoffs sometimes, not always. This board here has perfect grain. But here's a board I drew out. This board's a little short, so I couldn't quite get the whole measurement on here. But you would have 2.5 inches from here to here, 1.5 inches wide. And from here to here 2 inches, fading up to 2 inches wide limb, 14 inches, 2 inches from here to here, 3/4 inches center, fading back to the 2 inches, and then 8.5 inches faded down to 1/2 inch. So 3/4 to 1/2 inch over 8.5 inches, 2-inch fade, 14 inch of a working limb, 2 inches, faded down to 1.5 inches, That's 2.5 inches. That's all I got for this video for today. If you have any questions, or if I didn't quite give enough detail for something, let me know. The holes, I don't know if I already mentioned it or not, but it's drilled center here, 7/8 of an inch center there. And then after you do that, you're going to hold it on the bow like this, side shot view. You're going to want it to go to where the fade just starts touching the riser. And then you're going to want it to where the fade just starts touching the bottom there. That's why this is 2.5 inches from here to here, to go from fade to fade on the limb, on the riser. But you're going to mark that with a pencil, or if you want to hold it and just get your drill bit and drill a hole and get a little punch started, hole started, you can. But I use 3/8 on the limb hole. Do not use 3/8 on the riser. Do not, or you're going to end up having to get a bigger lag, which in return could split the wood. 3/8 is plenty big enough. I've done many bows with it. I've never had one come out, strip out, break. Never. But you're going to drill from here in to here, 1 3/4 to 1 5/8, somewhere around in there. 1 3/4 what I did on these. And with this on there, with the washer, you're gonna get a 2.5 inch lag bolt, 3/8, and it's gonna drill. You're gonna use a 1/4 inch bit on this, 3/8 bit on the limb. But you're gonna drill into there, and then you'll be able to bolt that on, okay, and do the other side the same way. And I like to mark my holes with the number on the back side, 1, 1, and then on the other limb I'll mark 2, and then I'll put a 2, so I don't get them mixed up. But what I do is get them bolted on, bolted together. Once you get your limbs cut out, I rasp this down or belt sand it down to a 1/2 inch. Sorry, I didn't tell you that. This part of the limb is 1/2 inch to 3/8. Roughly is a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch is a little heavy. It's more like, let me give you a better measurement here. Yeah, I start out with a 1/2 inch. I get it sanded down to a 1/2 inch, and then I'll rasp it or belt sand it more, and work the limbs a little bit. Bolt it onto the bow, onto the riser. I bolt the riser on first. You can get it down to a 1/2 inch, and then bolt it on. That's what I would do. And then you can do the final tillering after you get it all bolted together. But if you have any questions or anything, comment me or send me a message and I'll get back to you. This is Adam from Ohio. Bowers for Christ. Thank you.